Hello and welcome to another episode of Those Two IM Guys. I'm James Kennedy and I'm here with my co-host Tony Epp. Morning Tony, how are you?
Morning James, I'm good, hope you're well. It's great to be here on our show as always, mate.
Always, mate. And again, great to have the listeners and the viewers back once again. And we've got an interesting subject today, one that we like, automation. I love automation. And this is something that we're going to talk about today. Tony, what are we talking about? Tell us.
Okay, guys. Well, today, it's definitely one of the most common forms of automation that we use in any sort of online marketing, yet people probably miss it, James, and that's autoresponders, yeah?
Autoresponders.
Now, a lot of our viewers and listeners, and hello to you guys as well, by the way, thanks for joining us on the show today. You may already be aware of what an autoresponder is, but you may not be aware of, all the options available, or you may be completely new to online marketing and you've heard the word or the phrase autoresponder, but you just haven't got a clue what it actually is. And that's what we're going to explain to you today, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, I've known about autoresponders. It's still early. I've known about autoresponders for many, many years, and only in the last 2 years I've actually started implementing them, Tony. And as I say, I think it's such a lovely thing where you can create an email and a personalized email, but just having that little box there, and it then puts that person's name in. And from there, you've genuinely had a conversation with that person, and you've not had to write so many emails. It's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, as online marketers, James, it's a crucial tool in your toolkit, isn't it? Arguably outside of hosting and a page builder or a funnel builder of some kind, it's probably the most used tool that any online marketer will ever use and need. Yeah.
Where's the money again, Tony?
It's in the list, James.
It's in the list, Tony. That's exactly what it is.
And what do you need to build a list, James?
An autoresponder, Tony.
An autoresponder, yes, absolutely. Now, guys, just to clarify what an autoresponder is, it's basically a platform or, a piece of software, a script that automates, I'll get it out, James, automates email replies, yeah? And that could just be a one email reply, or it could be a sequence of emails. So effectively a funnel of email responses that you can set up in advance on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, whatever your campaign is that you're doing. Yeah.
And one of the things that I think, a lot of people get overwhelmed when, for those of you who do know what an autoresponder is, when they think about a 30-day, a 60-day, or even a 365-day-a-year campaign where you send an email out every day. But remember, it only starts with one email at a time. The email that you send out today can be somebody else's one for tomorrow, and exactly. And you can build, as long as you mail every day, you could potentially have 365-day email kind of sequence. It's just a lot of people are, oh gosh, how am I going to come up with 30 or 40 or 50 days emails? It's like they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Absolutely.
Yeah, and when somebody connects with you via, an email subscription or buys one of your products on your e-commerce store or whatever it may be, James, it's important that you connect with them instantly. That's the start of building your relationship with the customer, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it could just be one email. It could be a sequence of emails over a week, a month, a year. But the great news is once you've got all those emails, that sequence set up in advance, it's set and forget.
Absolutely.
The autoresponder automates that entire process for you forever. All you've got to do is drive traffic into that funnel, yeah?
Yeah. And again, it's quite funny because I had made a bit of a blip on one of my promotions recently. There was a bonus package and it wasn't actually in the account. It should have been in the platform when they purchased the product, but it wasn't there.
Right, okay.
And someone reached out to me personally through my messenger last night. And obviously I started to build a relationship there and then and had a conversation. And obviously because of the inconvenience, I ended up giving an additional bonus. I said, well, I'm really sorry for that. It should have been there for you. My fault. Here's the link to your bonus page. And here's something else as well. Sorry for wasting your time.
Yeah. And that's another, that's another good example of why autoresponders are really important to what we do with any online marketing, James, because your initial email can be one, to introduce yourself, welcome that customer, but also you can include your support information.
Yeah.
You know, people, a lot of people, not me, not you, but some people don't think a support desk is crucial, do they?
Support, what's that? They don't know what support is.
Exactly. But you know, your support desk is a crucial another tool to your business, because it's another way of communicating with your customers. Yeah.
Now, incidentally, Tony, it's going slightly off topic, because I don't know if we're ever going to, are we going to ever branch onto the subject of support desk? Is that going to be a chat?
Yeah, we'll cover that in a future episode.
Okay, well, I'll just leave the question then.
There's lots of different options on that, and that's another episode for another day.
That's fine, because as I say, that's something that people
just getting back onto the topic we are discussing, which is autoresponders, guys. You know, the platform or the autoresponder script or software, whatever you want to call it, it's basically triggered by user actions, James. So that can be on your website, or it can be when a user sends an email directly to another email, and there's an autoresponder in place. We've all had it, haven't we? You know, when you've emailed a friend or a colleague and you get an automated message coming straight back at you.
Absolutely.
That's a perfect example of what we're talking about in that instance with an autoresponder. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm out of the office. I'm away for the Christmas holidays or whatever it may be. Yeah,
we've all had those emails from time to time, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, those type of confirmation emails, they really constitute the most common examples of autoresponders, I think, James.
Yeah.
But again, autoresponders, they've got a variety of uses depending on what you're using them for in your marketing. Examples of that would be, you know, someone signed up for your email newsletter, as an example. Or we've just talked about support there, so they created a support ticket. Another, we mentioned e-commerce, so they've purchased an item on your website. It could even be something basic, like they've changed the setting on their software account that they purchased from you, or something like that, and they've got an automated email confirmation of the password change, or whatever that may be. And again, the other example we've just mentioned about, you've emailed a colleague or a friend and you've had the old out of town, I'm away message. Have you got any other examples of confirmation emails that you've received yourself in the past?
Well, one of the things I was thinking about is, like, when someone signs up to buying one of my products, you know, and then they get that kind of the kind of automated login details and things like that. That's an autoresponder as well, in a way, you know, where the fact that I don't actually have to manually go and create these people's accounts, and, you know, again, obviously it's within a different platform, but it's still a kind of auto response type process.
You know? There's not much that we all do online these days that, you know, that there's not some sort of autoresponder involved in.
Exactly.
Now, that could be an email autoresponder, it could be a chatbot autoresponder. There's lots of different examples, but there's not many actions that we take online these days, is there, that doesn't involve some sort of
even when you're ordering pizza, Tony.
Correct.
Even when you're ordering pizza, hey, Mr. Kennedy, your order is thingy, it'll be with you in the next 30 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got that. And then guess what? Next day, you get another email from the pizza company or whatever, and boom, you're on the list. You've just ordered a pizza, and now you're there.
And that's it. I mean, in that example, ordering that first pizza from any pizza company, that's the start of that process of autoresponder, isn't it?
Of that relationship, Tony.
Yeah, of the relationship. You know, that they're confirming your order, so you know that you've ordered correctly and it's on its way or whatever. And as you say, they can then send marketing emails to you after that. You know, with coupon codes to, you know, buy one get one free pizzas, or whatever the case may be.
I mean, just think about it. I mean, like, obviously the product that we were interviewing Cyril about last week, you know, with the kind of personalized, hi James, blah, 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 this offer, nice picture. I've had those from pizza companies. Hey James, get it while it's hot, 20% off, you know, 20% off your order if you order between Monday and Thursday, you know, and things like that.
And we established in that episode with Cyril, when we were reviewing his Sell It Picks product and his launch, how important personalization is. And that's another thing that autoresponders allow you to do, guys. It allows you to send personalized messages to your audience, you know, whether that's a new customer, an existing customer, whatever the case may be, to receive an email that says, hi James, hi Tony, you know, hi your name.
Sweetest word in English language, Tony.
Yeah,
You're
it's very powerful, James, and it gives you that personal connection, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Now, you know, let's take autoresponders in email marketing as another example. Now, as marketers, you know, we basically use autoresponders to streamline our campaigns, James.
Yeah.
To cut down the amount.
You've just froze up a little bit, Tony, there. Tony's froze there.
Not because we're lazy. What did you hear up to?
To cut down. So I presume you were going to tell us.
Yeah, as marketers, James, we basically use autoresponders to streamline our campaigns, don't we?
Yeah.
To reduce the workload that we need to do. It's not that we're lazy. It just, you know, automation, as we both know, it saves us time that we can be spending on other more important things. Yeah.
And again, when we are doing an email, it's not as if you're not. I mean, when I'm writing an email to one of my customers or one of my newsletter people, I'm talking to them as if I'm talking to them in person anyway when I send that email. So the only difference is whether I'm going to have the same message, even if I was going into a town and I was bumping into all my friends, I'd be having the same conversation, but it would be, hi, Tony, hi, Dave. Wait till I tell you about this, blah, 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 you know. Yeah. So there's nothing different about it, you know. Obviously keeping it kind of focused on the general product or the general message, and obviously having personalizations through that email. And again, it doesn't just have to be, hi, Tony. It could be a few things all the way through if you wanted to, when you were referring to them. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't, you know, you usually personalize the headline of the email as well as the body, the content of the email as well, James, don't you?
Yeah.
So
a lot of people don't do it in the body though, you know.
Even before, can you hear me, James?
Yeah, I was just waiting on you talking.
Sorry, you froze then, sorry. Yeah, because of the personalization angle, with autoresponders, because you can personalize the title of the email, the headline of the email, as well as obviously hi James, hi Tony in the body of the content. You know, customers can see that personalization before they even open the email, James. Yeah. So they know exactly who it's from. They know it's, you know, personalized to them, and that gives you a much better click-through rate to the actual email so they can read it. Yeah. And you know, a really basic, straightforward example of an autoresponder working would be, rather than emailing each individual person that signs up for your newsletter, James, as an example, an autoresponder will send out a welcome email for you and automate that entire process. Yeah. Right. So in its basic form, you know, that's a really good example of, you know, the benefits of using an autoresponder. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, as we know over the last few years as well, especially the top autoresponders in the marketplace, they've gotten a lot more complex, haven't they?
Well, I'm still quite a basic user, so you can tell us more on that. I mean, I've just moved from GetResponse to Aweber, and I'm still finding my feet.
Okay, well, I've never used GetResponse, but I've used Aweber for many years, and I've never had any reason to move, to be honest with you. I do use a different SMTP option as well, which we'll be covering SMTPs and autoresponder options later in this episode. But yeah, as marketers, we now use ARs in a much broader way than we used to, because you've got the complexity of being able to tag certain people so that when they open that email, they go into a separate email group for that certain thing that you've tagged. Yeah. That could be, you know, an SEO tag, it could be a graphic tag, it could be a video tag. So you know that those people are interested in particular types of products or services. Yeah. Have you never used tagging yourself, James?
No, Tony, I haven't. Honestly, you know, I think this might be a course that we might be making soon.
Yeah, most of the top AR companies offer tagging now, James. As I say, it's just part of that, how they've become more complex over the last few years. Yeah. Okay. And you can create triggers for autoresponders to send out messages to, as an example, a few examples of what you can use autoresponders for. Okay. You can use them to promote other people's products as an affiliate, as an example. I know you do that. I know I do that. Yeah. You can use them to cross-sell when someone buys a specific product from you.
Right.
So let's say somebody buys a pizza, as you gave an example of a few minutes ago. You may want to cross-sell them to buy a fizzy drink off you to go with that pizza.
Yeah,
as an example. Yeah, so they're great for being able to cross-sell similar products to what someone's already purchased from you. Yeah. They're great for reconnecting with customers who you've been inactive with for a while, and I know you've experienced that yourself recently, haven't you?
Yeah, just with kind of things getting on, I've not really been able to kind of keep in touch with a lot of people on my list, which is unfortunate, but this happens sometimes, as you know.
Yeah, and you're not the only person that's suffering from that, James. A lot of marketers do that. It's important that you keep connected with your audience on a regular basis. That's crucial to your relationship with your list, basically. Yeah. Another thing autoresponders are great for is to alert users to membership renewals or expirations, so that they don't lose access to the product they've purchased or the software they've purchased from you. Yeah.
I've just had another idea, Tony, and I don't know if it's possible, but is there a way that I could set something up with autoresponders so that I can actually send my customers on my list a happy birthday message?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a happy birthday offer, even.
Yeah, and you'll find that a lot of companies do that.
Right.
That they'll actually, again, because of this tagging, they can tag when people's birthdays are,
right,
and they can automate a happy birthday personalized email to go out to those customers on those specific dates. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm going to have a play with that, hopefully.
Yeah, another thing that autoresponders can be used for is to remind someone that they haven't finished, completing their profile, they've not finished a survey or some sort of other activity. Yeah.
Or is that something that could also, like, say, oh, you've abandoned cart, you've kind of, have you left something behind?
Yeah, that's another great example, James, for e-commerce users, abandoned cart messages. What happens a lot of the time in that instance, and this is a tip for anybody buying anything through an e-commerce site, guys, put it in your car, leave it for a couple of days, and there's a very good chance that you will get a autoresponder message at some point with a coupon code to give you a discount on your, on what you're holding in your cart. Yeah.
I like that, Tony.
Yep.
There's only one thing that
it doesn't happen every time, James, but a lot of the time it does happen. Yeah.
I love, my favorite thing, as you know, is free, but when I'll always take a discount as well. I do like a discount.
We all love discount. We all like saving money, but the only better thing than that is free, isn't it?
Free. I love free.
But yeah, a great point you made was you can use autoresponders again to be very personalized and wish people happy birthday, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Another thing as well, what autoresponders are great for, they allow us to split test different email campaigns so we can see which one works the best.
I'm just going to share something with you there. I don't know if this is possible, Tony. So I know that you've got Sell It Picks and I've got Sell It Picks and I've not played with it yet, but now I've got a vision in my head of me wearing a party hat and a bunch of balloons blowing a thing. Can I create something like that that could then go out with their personal name through Sell It Picks?
Yes, you could even have, if as long as the balloon is editable, which it will be in Sell It Picks or a similar software, you'll be able to put their name in the balloon, wouldn't you?
I love that. I never even thought of that. But
happy birthday name.
Yeah. I just did a picture of me blowing up holding a bunch of balloons saying happy birthday, whoever it is. Anyway.
And just talking about split testing in this instance for autoresponders, but we've discussed it in previous episodes, James, that split testing, when you're a marketer, especially an online marketer, split testing is everything. It's crucial. You've got to be doing it, guys. Yeah, it's exactly the same with autoresponders in your emails. You've got to split test different email campaigns to find out which ones work the best and convert the best. Yeah. I know the answer to this already, James, but I'm assuming you've not got to that point yet, no?
No. I'm like, because my next question was going to be, how do I split it? How did I take half the list? Do I need to take it up?
For any company that's really switched on, as an example, if you subscribe to their products or service twice using 2 different email addresses, the chances are the autoresponder messages you're going to be receiving to the 2 different email addresses will be slightly different.
Right. Okay.
And that's because they're split testing which ones work best, which ones are getting the best open rates,
Right.
which ones are they getting the, which headlines are getting the most responses to.
Yeah. But within
So
Aweber, for example,
it's super important to be split testing, James. It's as simple as that.
Right. So within Aweber, for example, how would I take my list and split it? Would I take half it and highlight it and send one message and then do it the other, or is there a
you can literally, you just create literally 2 separate emails, two separate sequences. You send, you would send one out to one audience and one out to another audience. And you remember in Aweber, and it's the same with all other top autoresponders, you can select what lists receive what messages.
Yes. So you would just select half of my lists and then send the other to the other half.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
That's
okay.
the way
I wasn't sure if there was an automated way to do that there, where you could literally just say like, oh,
no, I mean, for new opt-ins, you could literally, again, if people are doing paid advertising, they'll normally have 2 different pages, James.
Right. Okay.
With 2 different sign-up forms, and one will go to one sequence, one will go to the other sequence.
Right. Okay.
And the easiest way for you to find that out, guys, if a company's doing that, is to just check the URL at the top of the page. Right. And it won't be the root domain. Yeah, simple as that.
Perfect. Thank you. So
let's talk a little bit about what options are available, what autoresponder platforms are out there.
Okay.
What do we recommend? What are we aware of? What do we use ourselves? Well, as we've already established, James, I use Aweber. I've done for many years. Great autoresponder provider and service. I've never had any issues with them whatsoever. Did you say you've switched to GetResponse?
No, I was with GetResponse, and again, I had no issues with GetResponse either. But because obviously I had bought a couple of products, John Thornhill had a done for you thing with Aweber, and so I had to get an Aweber account because obviously I wanted to take advantage of that. But I didn't see the point of paying for 2.
No, of course not. No, and you never want to waste money. You always want to keep your overhead down, guys, whenever possible. So this was more of a personal preference thing.
Personal preference, but again, I found GetResponse easier to use because I'd been using it for such a while. So now I'm just kind of trying to get in the way with Aweber, and it's no problem. No. It's just obviously things are just laid out different,
Aweber's great, James. You'll have a good experience with them. Another one that I wanted to discuss was GetResponse, because I know a lot of marketers, especially top marketers that we're aware of, they absolutely love GetResponse, and they would never change from that. They have great experience with them. Another one which is great for beginners, by the way, is Mailchimp. Yeah, because it's super easy to use.
And it's free for so many as well, isn't it?
Yeah, what you'll find, again, this is for the benefit of our viewers and listeners. Aweber, GetResponse, and Mailchimp, certainly those 3, they have a free tier, so you can get up to 500 subscribers.
I don't think GetResponse has.
They do now, James.
They do now. I was going to say they had a 14-day free trial.
And all these resources we're mentioning, guys, I will put in the recommended resources area of those 2 IM Guys website, which is those2imguys.com. So go to the recommended resources area there, and you will see a post with all these resources we're discussing now. But Aweber, GetResponse have just started it, James.
Right, because I knew.
And Mailchimp, they all offer a free tier now, up to 500 subscribers. Yeah, perfect. Another great platform is Constant Contact, again used by a lot of top marketers, and another one that's used by a lot of top marketers is ConvertKit.
ConvertKit, I've seen that quite a lot recently.
Now, a platform that a lot of marketers switched to a few years ago because, as they say in their advertising, it's a platform that's built by marketers for marketers, and that is SendLane. Great platform. Another good one, which a lot of people overlook, James, is Hubspot.
Hubspot as an autoresponder.
Hubspot, they have believe it or not, they have an autoresponder service as well. Yeah.
Right.
And if you're really into the technical side of autoresponders, or you want to get into the technical side of autoresponders and use triggers and tags and all this cool stuff, a great platform is MailerLite.
Okay.
That's one you really need to check out if you want to get into the more techie side of autoresponders. And one that's really overlooked, believe it or not, James, if you want just a basic autoresponder, is your hosting provider.
Your hosting provider?
Your hosting provider. Most top hosting companies will give you an autoresponder option.
Right. Okay.
And guess what? It's free.
I love free.
Because you're already paying for your hosting. So it's part of your hosting package, yeah?
Right. Okay. That's something I was
most people, yeah. The reason I mention that is because it's, one, relevant, but two, most people are aware that they can create a custom email address for their domain with their email provider. What they're not aware of is that they can create a basic autoresponder as well.
And that's excellent when you think about it, especially for some of our viewers and listeners that are possibly on a really low budget right now, kind of working on things to get them up and running. That's an exceptional idea, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, if you haven't got the budget right now, guys, to be going to the cost of Aweber or GetResponse or one of the other, you know, autoresponder services we've mentioned in this episode, then using your own hosting provider's autoresponder, and usually they're only basic autoresponders, guys, but you don't need anything more than that initially, do you? So use that free utility, you know, use that free resource that's there. And because you're already paying for your hosting, so it's not going to cost you any more. You're keeping your overhead down, yeah?
Tony, I thought you would have mentioned another one that's hugely expensive and it's usually for kind of higher end. You know the one I'm talking about?
Tell me.
Well, I think it's renamed now, but it used to be called Infusionsoft.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I've not mentioned Infusionsoft is because it's not just an AR, James, is it? It's a CRM, you know.
Yeah, it's a monster.
It's got an autoresponder element to it,
Uh-huh.
but it's not just an autoresponder.
Basically
What I've done in this episode is try and keep it to platforms that are very specific, and they do the one thing great. Yeah.
Perfect.
So the big question that I get asked a lot is, which autoresponder is right for me?
Tony, which autoresponders right for me?
Funny you ask that question, James. Because it's one I get asked quite often. Now, it really depends. The answer to that question is it really depends on what you're going to be, what your activities are online, what your niche is. You know, if you're an affiliate marketer, for example, you wouldn't use some of those platforms that I mentioned because you'll get banned. Because the fact is, they don't like affiliate marketers, James.
So what ones don't like affiliate marketers?
Well, the ones I know that are okay with affiliate marketing are Aweber and GetResponse, which is probably why most of the top online marketers use those two.
Right, okay.
The other ones I would be very careful of. Mailchimp's usually okay.
Okay.
The rest of them, you know, total transparency, I've never used them, so I don't know. But I know of people that have used them and have had their accounts shut down because they've used them for affiliate marketing. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So common sense would then say, if those platforms are happy with affiliate marketers, why have they shutting affiliate marketers' accounts down?
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
So again, do your due diligence, guys. Look at the other marketers in your circle. Look at what autoresponders they're doing with their affiliate marketing. As I say, I can absolutely tell you, you know, Aweber and GetResponse, I know people generally have never had a problem with when they're promoting affiliate products yet.
Awesome.
Obviously, if you're just using autoresponders for something like transactional emails, James, as an e-commerce site, or a welcome message when someone subscribes to your newsletter, or those types of, you know, common basic, you're not promoting anything, you're just welcoming your customer or keeping them up to date with their purchase, or whatever the case may be. Those types of transactional emails that an autoresponder can do, then all those providers we've mentioned will be happy with that.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, not everybody that'll be watching and listening to our show are affiliate marketers, you know.
Oh, of course
And
not. Yeah.
a lot of them will be kind of Shopify people and Amazon associates, and some might be mom and pop bricks and mortar stores, and they're just looking to find a way to kind of get themselves.
To put it in perspective, any of our viewers and listeners that are not using the autoresponder for affiliate marketing, all those providers we've mentioned, again, we've only touched the tip of the iceberg there, guys, of the ones we're aware of, the top, the top services. That doesn't mean there's not other good ones out there. So again, do your research, do your due diligence, because a lot of the time it comes down to price as well, James, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And there is some kind of one-time offer ones.
But if you're not affiliate marketing, then pretty much all those top autoresponder companies you'll be absolutely fine with, because they want customers that are only using their platforms for transactional emails and welcome emails and that sort of thing.
Now, Tony, the ones that you mentioned there, they're all kind of cloud-based online.
They're all SaaS products that you log into them from any device. And
for those of you who don't know what SaaS is, it's that stands for software as a service, which is usually a monthly recurring fee that you would pay for these softwares. But it's obviously on their hostings. You don't have to worry about looking after that stuff. They deal with all that on your behalf. Yeah,
that's a good explanation, James.
Quite proud of myself in that one.
I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you.
So, as you just pointed out, those SaaS platforms, those cloud-based platforms where you just literally log in and use the service, there's an alternative to that, and that is SMTP. Are you familiar with SMTP, James?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot now. Do you know what it stands for?
Yes. Some mums.
You can say no, as we've already established.
I don't.
Me and you both don't know everything, but I'll put you out your misery. It stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That was my second guess.
I knew you had it on the tip of your tongue. I did. Yeah. And basically, it's the industry standard, James, for sending emails over the internet, basically. Yeah. Now, I've got some SMTP providers, and just to sort of give our viewers and listeners a bit more information about what an SMTP is, it's basically where, unlike an autoresponder platform like Aweber or GetResponse, with SMTP, you have your own email platform, James, where you have your own email editor, and you can buy these products, on Code Canyon or other marketplaces on the internet. You host these on your own hosting, and you then connect an SMTP service provider to that software, to your own software. Yeah.
And I know from obviously previous conversations that you love things that you can host yourself, because I know obviously you use Aweber, which is a hosted product, but you've got alternative, you've got backup for the backup, Tony, and I love that about you.
Yeah, and there's other platforms out there, James. I'll give you a really good one that I'm familiar with and I do use as well. It's called Mailget. And with Mailget, you can then, it's got a great drag and drop email editor. So you can make your emails look really, really beautiful and gorgeous. So when your customers are receiving those emails, it's shouting out to them, I'm a professional business. Yeah. So I use Mailget because it's great to build those really high quality emails that are going to give a great impression of my business. Yeah.
I'm going to take a note of that.
And the SMTP service I use in conjunction with that email editor is what we'll call it. I use Amazon SES to send out my bulk emails. Yeah.
I'm writing this down. Mailget and Amazon
SES.
Okay. Is it SES? I'm like, they're a furniture company here in the UK, aren't they?
Now, we're going to cover a few other SMTP providers in a minute, but yeah, where this differs from Aweber and GetResponse, as we've just said, is that's where you log into the SaaS platform, the cloud app. Where this is different is that you still log in to the email platform, yeah, which is web-based, it's, you know, browser-based, you still log into that, but instead of using the internal autoresponder to send out your emails, you're using a third-party service, yeah.
Okay.
That's where the SMTP comes in. And some of the top SMTP service providers, believe it or not, one is called smtp.com.
Okay.
Another one is called Send in Blue. Another one is called Mailgun. Another one that is used on a regular basis is called SendGrid, and lots of top markets use SendGrid.
I know that one.
The most widely used one and the most known one by far is Amazon SES, as we just established. I use it myself. I know lots of other marketers use Amazon SES successfully. And again, we go back to the example. When choosing your SMTP provider, which service you choose is going to depend on what you're using that email service for. Again, some of these services won't like the fact you're an affiliate market if you're an affiliate marketer, James.
So what ones are good for affiliate marketers then?
For affiliate marketers, Amazon SES is good, which is why I use it and why lots of other top marketers use it who are promoting affiliate products. SendGrid is okay. And Elastic Mail is okay.
Does that not bounce back?
No.
The
other ones I'm going to talk about right now, I don't know whether they're good with affiliate marketers or not. So again, do your due diligence, do your research, yeah?
Excellent.
So yeah, we've already said smtp.com, Sendinblue, Mailgun, SendGrid, Amazon SES is the best known and most widely used. Another one that is obviously everyone's familiar with is Google, which is now Google Workspace. It's formerly G Suite.
Yes.
Postmark is another very popular one. Elastic Mail, and you're going to love the name of this one, James, Moosend. Moosend, yeah. They're all really good top level SMTP providers. Which one you use, guys, is going to really depend on what you're going to use the service for. As I said before, if you're an affiliate marketer, you'll need to do your due diligence and your research, because I know 2 or 3 of those are fine with affiliate marketing. I can't comment on the other ones. Yeah.
Great.
Is that the first time you've heard of some of those, James?
Yes, especially Moosend.
Well, that's just to name a few.
I know there's lots.
If you Google SMTP service providers, you'll get dozens and dozens and dozens. Okay. And that's where doing your research really comes in, guys. The ones I've mentioned in this episode are ones that I know that I've used personally and I still use personally, and that I know that other top marketers use. Again, really, when you know what you're going to use this service for, if it's going to be affiliate marketing, if it's going to be for welcome emails, transactional emails, that's really going to determine, apart from price, which of these providers you would go with. Yeah.
Perfect.
And again, all those SMTP services, James, hook up, they integrate with your own email editor.
Okay.
Now that can, some people, you can even, another option, James, is even to have your own email server. So you could go and buy, an email editor off somewhere like CodeCanyon or another marketplace. You could install that on your own VPS server or dedicated server, depending on the resources you needed and the emails you were going to send out. And then you would connect one of these third-party SMTP services up to that editor, yeah?
Excellent.
So what that does for you, I'll explain why that is preference to some marketers, James, yeah?
Okay.
They're in total control of their email marketing. Aweber, GetResponse, the SMTP service, especially if you look at the cloud-based, the SaaS app providers like GetResponse and Aweber, they're not going to shut you down because of the types of emails you're sending, yeah?
Yeah, and again, the horror stories I've heard about people years gone back, where they had like massive mailing lists and they just get shut down and they lost their whole list. They couldn't reclaim the list and things like that.
Yeah, and that's another top tip, guys. What, you know, regardless of what email provider you're with, back up your email list constantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I personally do mine every month.
Yeah.
I know there are softwares out there that can even automate that for you, James. They'll auto back up. They'll integrate with Aweber or GetResponse or whatever your preference is, and they will automatically download your lists on a scheduled basis. Yeah.
Yeah. But the fact that we spoke about it earlier on, and we see it quite often, the money's in the list. If you can imagine that your whole business is that list, and if you're not looking after that
valuable,
and cherishing it,
yeah, totally. It's the most valuable thing you will ever have in your online business is your list.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And that doesn't matter whether it's an email list or an SMS list, James. Equally as important, whatever list you're building, back it up on a regular basis, guys. Yeah, that's a top tip for today. Yeah. And those SMTP providers, as I just said, James, that's just a few. That's touching the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. You've really got to do your research and your due diligence. Look at the price points. Look at what emails you're going to be sending, because if you're sending email promos out, you're promoting other people's products as an affiliate. Trust me, a lot of these SMTP services and autoresponder services are going to have a big problem with that, and the chances are they will shut your account down.
Yeah, and we don't want that.
Yeah, and again, going back to the episode we had previously about hosting, James, do not think this will never happen to you. Trust me, it will do. So make sure,
just a matter of when.
Yeah, just make sure you're backing everything up, or you're choosing the service provider that is known to generally be happy with the type of emails you're sending. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That way you're reducing the risk, aren't you?
Definitely.
And as I said, another option, if you want to put yourself in complete control, is to have your own email server. You know, your own VPS, your own dedicated, install your own software, or, you know, your own email software or scripts on there. So you've got your own editor, and do it that way. Yeah. So guys, there's courses out there that, you know, especially on Udemy, that will teach you for a few bucks how to set up your own email server, to put yourself in complete control of your, you know,
destiny.
Destiny. Your email sending.
Yeah.
And if you're that type of person that wants to have complete control of that process, then that's probably the option for you that you need to be looking at. It's not the most cost-effective way of doing it, because you've obviously got the cost of a VPS or a dedicated server, which isn't cheap. But if you want complete control, that is the only way that you can guarantee that.
It's all relevant, Tony, as well, because some of the people that will be watching this are obviously startup businesses, and some of them have got high-end products and high-end services that need to make sure that their their people's details are very secure, and you know, and that's a great investment if they're in that position, you know.
Yeah, and again, it's horses for courses, James, isn't it? You know, absolutely. You've got to look at your type of business and exactly what you're using email marketing for. And then you've got to decide, do I go the autoresponder route? Do I go the SMTP route? Do I go my own hosting server route? And only you can answer those questions, because only that particular person and business knows what they're going to be using email marketing for. Absolutely. And the types of emails they're going to be sending, James. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
So again, you know, once you can answer those questions, then you know which option is best for you to go with. Yeah. But setting up your own email server, James, isn't as daunting as it may sound. And as I say, there are, you know, courses out there, especially on Udemy and training, you know, training platforms like that you can get access to. In fact, I know of a really good training course that I personally bought myself about a year ago. And I literally paid less than $20 for it, I think, James, at the time.
And guys,
I'll include that as a resource. I'll include that as a resource in the post on our website, because I've taken that course and I know it's a really good course and it'll answer everybody's questions. Yeah.
And what I was going to say there, Tony, was I think something that a lot of people we need to hit this home. Please, please, please keep on investing in your education, right? Yeah. It's an ongoing process. everything's constantly evolving online and way faster online than it is offline. So you need to be ahead of the game, because see, if you're not ahead of the game, I can guarantee your competitor is ahead of the game, and they're going to leave you for dead. So constantly be learning. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as marketers, we're learning something new every single day, James.
Absolutely.
And, you know, for anybody that does want to go down the having their own email server route, if you're not already super techie and you know what you're doing, take a course, whether it's the one that I've taken that I'll put as a resource on our website in the recommended resources section for you, or whether you go on Udemy and, you know, look at the top courses on there in this topic. What's it going to cost you guys? It's going to cost you a few dollars. It's going to cost you 2 or 3 days of your time to take the course. Then you'll be armed with all the information that you need to be able to set up your own email server. Yeah.
And obviously that's not, I was going to say, and that's not for everybody that's watching this. A lot of people will be like you and me that are doing certain things, and GetResponse or Aweber or something similar will be the perfect solution for them right now, because these are hugely viable options. You know, it's just if you're one of those people that need to be in control of everything, then maybe this is something to look at.
And if you're one of those people that wants complete control, having your own email server is the only option really to go, James. But again, businesses go through transitional periods, don't they?
Of course.
You know, what you need right now if you're starting out your business is not what you're going to need in 5 years' time.
Exactly. It's a growth.
So again, your attitude and your requirements for autoresponders is going to change over the lifetime of your business. Yeah.
I was going to say, a line just came into my head there. Your attitude determines your latitude, doesn't it, really? You know, having the right attitude, and again, but having that vision.
You are the man with the corny one-liners, mate. I've got to admit.
Listen, I'm Mr. Motivation. That's what I'm all about.
That's all cool. We like that. We love motivating people. Yeah. So, guys, that's basically a lot of options as regards autoresponders. As always, you know, do your research, do your due diligence, check out the recommended resources that I'll put on our website, those2imguys.com. And go and check all these resources out, guys. I mean, any other questions yourself, James?
No, not at all. Just obviously, I mean, this obviously subject can be kind of possibly taken a little bit over. It can be a little bit overwhelming for some people, but really, there is so many great options there, and all of these products, I would say not all of them, but 99% of them will all come with their own tutorials as well, basic tutorials on how to set these things up. So guys, don't think that you need to be a world-class expert in any of these things. What you need to do is take action and start getting going, you know. So as a basic option is better than no option at all. Procrastination is not your friend. All right, just get action, get moving, and then obviously I'd kind of pivot as you need to as you go forward in your business.
Yeah, I would say, if, again, this is for the benefit of our viewers and listeners, James, what I would say to all the guys out there is, if you just want to pay an amount of money each month or annually, log in and, you know, send your emails out, use Aweber, GetResponse, or a similar type of service. If you want to really reduce your costs, because one of the benefits of SMTP is that to send 10,000 emails out with Amazon SES as an example is probably less than $1, James.
Wow.
It's super cheap. That's why a lot of people prefer these SMTP services, because they can send, if they've got a big list, they can send a lot of emails out very cheaply. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I wasn't aware of that.
And again, you've got the other type of person that wants complete control of their email marketing, in which case there's only one option, and that's get your own email service. And if you're really at the beginning of your online business journey and you want a free solution, you've got it in your hosting provider already. Use that.
Yeah, perfect. Tony, it's been a great episode. Again, really informative for me as well, you know, and I know a bit about this stuff anyway. But again, I've found out an awful lot more than I knew. Obviously, if you're watching this and it's kind of, we're getting near the holidays, right? So what I was going to say to you is, all this stuff's hugely important, but don't forget to take time out as well and actually enjoy being an online marketer or someone that's actually kind of making a living online. The whole reason that everybody's goal, in my opinion, should be is to kind of create your own destiny in your own free time and when you work, you know, online. So as I say, make sure that you do take some time out during the holidays. I don't know if we'll have another episode before Christmas. I'm not sure, but if not,
we'll look at the diary, James. We might squeeze one more in, I think,
might
before
squeeze one in before we go.
Regarding this episode on autoresponders, the one thing I'd like to finish on is, and get this message out to all our viewers and listeners, is, guys, whatever type of email marketing you're doing, please don't be spammy. It will come back to bite you on the backside. Remember, the most important thing is hitting the inbox. That's the whole purpose of email marketing. Yeah. So do not be spammy, else you will pay the price in the long run if you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear people talking about it's a numbers game. It really isn't a numbers game. If you hit big numbers with a generic thing, you're just going to get blacklisted, and nobody will ever see you.
I would say, James, as well, respect your list. Respect the people that have taken the time to subscribe to your list. Send them information, even if you're an affiliate marketer and you're sending them, promoting products to them. Send them promotions that are going to be useful to them, that they're going to get some value out of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So don't just be spamming them, with offer after offer after offer after offer. That's not, that is going to earn you money as an affiliate, but is no value to them whatsoever.
Yeah, and absolutely. And again, as you know, I mean, when I was down visiting you down in Devon in the summer, again, I put a few emails to my list, basically just like, look, here's me and Tony, we've just caught up, we went for a coffee, a little chat, and just some of the kind of revelations that I had from our conversation,
and again, nothing about, James, it's about getting that personal connection, isn't it? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think so. A lot of
I'm not saying don't promote quality relevant products to your list if you're an affiliate marketer, guys. That would be hypocritical of me, because that's what I do. But also send them some good quality free information, case studies, freebies.
Yeah, absolutely.
James, when I send a freebie out to my list, they get a freebie, don't they?
Oh, and they don't get like a crappy PLR. And again, when I say crappy PLR, I don't mean all PLR is crappy, because we've kind of seriously
and that's because, James, if I'm going to give a freebie out to my customers, my subscribers, because I really do appreciate them being on my list, I want to give them something of value, something they can use in the business.
Yeah, absolutely. And
else I'd rather give nothing. Well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just bear that in mind, guys. Yeah. Even though we're communicating via email marketing, at the end of that email, the person reading that is a person just like you and I.
Yeah, and a lot of people forget that, Tony. And again, that's when I write an email, I write it as if I'm talking to you or talking to a friend. Obviously you're a friend, I'm not another friend, but yeah.
Yeah, and believe me, email marketing that way will really make a difference in whether you end up in spam or the junk folder, or whether you end up in the inbox, James.
Yeah.
Again, when you're doing your research, guys, in that research, check up spammy email words, and don't use those. There's loads of free lists online that can give you that information. Don't use those words in your emails. Simple as that. There's also tools out there as well, where you can check if your email's spammy before you send it out.
That's good to know. Tony, is there any chance of you putting some of those in the resources?
Yeah, I'll put those resources in the recommended resources on the website, James, with the rest of the resources we mentioned today on the autoresponders. Yeah, I'm pretty sure as well, Aweber have now got a built-in spam detector.
Yeah. So
you could check the quality of your email, and if it's going to appear spammy before you send it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, guys, Tony, excellent episode, I've got to say. Really informative, really interesting. Certainly learned a lot myself. Guys, I hope you really enjoyed this episode as well. Hopefully we'll see you again on another episode of Those Two IM Guys. Thanks for watching and listening, and we look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Have a great day, and if we don't speak beforehand, happy holidays. Take care. Bye.
Take care.